Hello, this is Rick Wise, and this is another Coffee and Conquest. And today we're going to talk about something that we seem to talk about at the beginning of each year, and this year it does have more importance, and that is what the car buyer, the shopper, is willing to do. There's a recent Forbes article, I'm sure you've read it by now, that our buyers want a hybrid version of the online and on-site shopping experience. If you recall, we've been talking about this for the last 2 years. But let's take a look into what extent it's taking place. The consumers out there, thanks to 2020, have sped up what their expectations are from us and us as being a retail dealer. They want to be able to do their research online. They want to check referrals on your dealership as well as on the product. They want to conduct as much as they can do and communicate with your dealership, but they also, for the most part, still want to purchase in person. This is what the article has stated. Now, with the younger population getting, more into the mix of purchasing, we're finding a shift there. That there's a greater number there in the younger population that does not mind buying completely online. Now, is that something that's going to take place in 2 or 3 years? Yeah, you know what? I believe it is. It's not going to take 5 or 6 years or 8 years like this other trend has taken. So keep that in mind as we move forward with this. Consider this. Why is it that our product now is connected? We have Wi-Fi. We have the ability to take our smartphones and connect it to our vehicles. We have access. We have remote play. We're able to do diagnostics. We're able to do marketplace. We can shop using our product, our Buick, our GMC. Now, imagine that. You purchase the product and you are connected to the world and can do whatever you want to, but somehow we can't be connected to the product when we're trying to purchase it. Well, Sonic, the automotive dealer group, the dealer group we all know about, they've made some additional hires, brought on some new executives to really push their e-commerce and really make that a focal point this year. This is 2021. Maybe we should follow Sonic's example. If we do online, and online encompasses everything, virtual, social, your website, the ability to be out there where people can find you, that's digital, gives you a larger reach, doesn't it? If anyone's listening to this and you're not moving your units within 30 days in this environment, then you have a brand awareness issue. Keeping a vehicle on the property for 60 days has become passe. There's a buyer for it, especially in this market. So if we're not moving within 60, 90 days, well, let's rephrase that. If we're not moving within 30 days, let's realize we have a brand awareness issue. It may not be a vehicle that your neighbors want in your local community, but it is a vehicle that someone wants somewhere, and the whole world should know who you are by now. Here's a screenshot that's pretty interesting, and this is quite old. It said that 95% of people looking for something or one of our vehicles or shopping spends 4 hours or plus doing research. Now, this is old data. It's passe. 80% does this research on and offline, but mainly online. And 40% or up to 40% says that they will purchase online if given the opportunity. We've seen that with Boom and Carvana. It's happening. And it's bypassing us if we're not doing this ourselves or giving our customers that ability. 5%, again, this is over 5 years old, 5% said they would purchase a vehicle without actually seeing our test drive event. So again, that's outdated information. We all know that. But have we adapted to what our consumers, our customers want right now in 2021? Or are we missing a big piece of action that we don't even know it's happening? We don't even know it's out there because we're not plugged in like this. Back in 2020, we promoted the touch-free process. That's going to become even bigger now. So let's don't drop off of offering that. Let's give the opportunity for someone to choose their vehicle online, do a virtual test drive if they want to, or solo test drive, and do complete paperwork electronically, or we can send it out to them. Now, as the start of this little chit chat, we talked about the hybrid. Right now, what we're being told is that the consumer wants a hybrid of this. They want to be able to look online, do a video online, maybe do a virtual test drive, but come in and actually sit in the vehicle before they pull the trigger and do the paperwork. But they want to be in and out with under 30 minutes. Not going to do that the old traditional way of having someone come in, doing fact-finding, doing selection, walking the lot, and then going for a test drive. Again, these are the trigger things. Want to be in and out within 30 minutes. Want to do most of it online, but still want to sit in the vehicle and go to the finance department. In essence, that's what they're saying. Audi and a couple of the other high-line manufacturers are now launching virtual-enabled car buying experiences that you can do from home. You're doing the showroom. You're sitting in the vehicle and you're taking it for a test drive. If any one of you have got kids like I do, this is not far-fetched. This is what your kids are wearing most of the time now, doing virtual reality. It's a very small step to have this in the showroom, and with especially younger customers expecting something like this, where are we in this particular process? Here's another piece of data information. It says 1 in 3 car shoppers use their mobile device to purchase, to locate a car dealership, or check our services. This is completely outdated. I think this is from 2015. It's almost 3 in 3. We all live on our mobile device. So do our customers. This is the online process, I guess, a guideline and checklist. Again, outdated information. Says most customers expect to have a return email from us within 24 hours. Well, that's completely outdated. It's less than 30 minutes. It's less than 10 minutes now. Most of them do not want a phone call from us. I still recommend you make a phone call. But again, they don't want a phone call. They want a return email with information. The more information it provides them, more likelihood they're going to engage us. What we're getting at here is that information that we keep talking about the online buyer, the hybrid buyer, is already 5 to 10 years old. We need to really ramp up ourselves and do the small tweaks that we need to do in our process so we can work with the customers the way they want to be worked with. Now, here's another article that just came out and talks about what to expect for 2021. Well, there's some jest in this, but I think there's a lot of value where it says, forget the showroom. It's gone. I mean, why do the showroom? You just crank up your computer. That's really the jest of the entire thing. It's happening overseas already. Going forward, there's not going to be a need for us to build a major showroom. We've been talking about that for years now, but we're seeing the tipping point already. Have you noticed how empty your showrooms are? Have you noticed how many of your salespeople are just sitting around not doing anything compared to what we used to call the good old days? Well, the business is still there. Yeah, it's dropped off some, but the business is still there. But they're not coming in the showroom. And many of them are not even making phone calls. They're online. So how do we start? How do we ramp up so that we are doing this and prepared for this and capture these people we're missing? Well, first, let's understand the kind of shopping moments that the consumer has. They're thinking, which vehicle is best for them? What's the right one? Can I afford it? And where should I get it from? Now, do you want your door to be knocked upon when they're trying to decide who they should get it from? Or do you want to be at the beginning? So when they're looking around trying to see what's the best fit for them, you are consulting with them. You're working with them. The answer is, of course, you want to be at the very beginning of this. How can you do that? You're going to have to campaign. You're going to do digital conquesting campaign. Keep in mind about 45% of what you're selling is in your local market. But that's 45% of what your quota is, what your goal is. So what's happening to 55%, the bulk of the business you're supposed to be capturing? You and I both know it's outside your area, right? And if you're not recognized outside your area, then you're missing that business. The business you have today, for the most part, most articles come from your local area. You get onesies and twosies from different places, but most of it comes from your local area, which means you're missing out on a big chunk that does want to do business with you. You know, advertising, this is old data already. It's no longer really paper, traditional newspapers, or TV. It's social media. It's doing third-party stuff. It's conquesting. Get with your ad agency and see what type of conquesting you're doing. And if you're doing conquesting, hold your ad agency or anyone you bring on board to certain standards, the same standards you hold to your team. Here, I'm showing a screenshot, something we talked about last year, holding a 4 to or 5 to 1 ROI with anyone who's you're going to spend bucks with. It's not a bad idea. If they can do what they claim they can do, they'll jump over this in a heartbeat. Don't hand out money and don't get a firm commitment or guarantee of some sort of what you can get back for the money you're going to spend. The day of putting money to an ad agency with, well, you know, we really can't tell you what your return's going to be because it's ads. Those days are over. This is your first step. Fine tune your conquesting. And then don't forget phones. Phone prospecting still works. And for the ones of you who are currently doing this and doing it this way, and with a set process, you know it works. You're setting appointments. You're getting people back into the front door, and then these people are referring to you as others. So really, that's all I have for today. A little low key, right? But again, takeaway is if you're not out there offering any way for someone to purchase from you completely online, in person, or a hybrid, you're missing all kinds of opportunities, regardless of how much you think you're doing right now. Because right now, the market we're in an order-taking market. If you got vehicles on your property, folks are coming to you and they're purchasing from you. There's not much selling going on right now. We have limited selection, so right now it's order taking. It's not going to always be that way. But again, as I always say, go out and make it a great day. And don't forget, you can join us every week. We do this podcast once a week. And if you need to reach out to me, I'm Rick Wise, and my telephone number is 404-217-2233. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.